Hi everyone, it's me. Welcome to today's video. We are doing something so fun today. A lot of you have been asking for this type of video for a while, so today we are going to be tier ranking. And I actually saw Carrie Can Read do this video like a couple months ago, I think, and I thought it looked really fun. So we're taking inspiration from Carrie today and we are going to tier rank authors. I asked you the other day on Instagram for some author suggestions, like whether it's your favorite authors, popular authors, anything, and you guys came through. I went through all of your submissions from my Instagram story and we have come up with a list of exactly 100 authors to tier rank today. So I think I went through every single one of your submissions. I didn't skip one, I think. I hope I got all of them. But I will say any of the authors that you submitted that I have never heard about before, I did omit from this list just because since we're tier ranking, if I don't know who they are, I've never heard them before, I obviously wouldn't know what tier to put them in, right? So thank you to everyone who submitted, but for those of you, who submitted authors that I don't know of, unfortunately, they're not in today's list. But we have 100 authors to tier rank, so we still have a lot. So to go over our tiers that we're going to use today, our first tier is going to be You Already Have My Credit Card. These are going to be my auto-buy authors, the authors that I don't have to think twice about. If these authors released their grocery lists, I would read them. The second one is I'll read it and I'll like it. These are the authors that I get excited for their new releases. I will obviously read them, but I'm not maybe I'm not pre-ordering them. Maybe I'm just catching them as they come out and reading them a couple months after release. Tier 3, we're channeling some Twilight here. Your Scent, it's like a drug to me. These are the authors that I can't seem to get away from. Their books have been hit or miss. I don't necessarily love these authors, but for some reason, I can't stop reading them. I just keep getting drawn towards them. The next one is 3 Strikes and You're Out. These are authors that have maybe missed on 2 books that I've read from them, but I'm gonna give them one more chance before I write them off entirely. Tier 5 is Waiting for Goodreads reviews. These are authors that I don't really care too much for. I've read them before. I don't really love them, but if they release a new book, I'm just gonna see how they do on Goodreads before I pick them up. Tier 6, Not Going There Again. These are authors that I've tried. I just have no urge to continue reading their books. I know I will not pick up a book from them again in the future. And the last 3 tiers, I know I've made a lot of tiers for this. I might have overkilled, but the last 3 tiers are for authors that I have heard of, that I know of, but I've never tried their books before. So the first one is You're in Line. This category is for any author that I haven't read before, but I've got their book on my TBR. I'm ready to go. I'm excited, I'm in, but I just haven't done it yet. The second from this group is I'm on the Fence, Convince Me. These are authors that maybe I've heard of, maybe I have a little bit of an urge to read, but first of all, maybe I don't know where to start, or second of all, I'm just not entirely convinced. There are other authors higher on my priority list. And then our last category, I have no urge. This is for authors that I've heard of, and I don't know, I couldn't care less. Something about them is just not making me want to pick up any one of their books. So those are all of our tiers. That is 9 tiers. That's a lot, but I feel we just had to be over specific with this particular tier ranking because every author needs a home. We're gonna get into it. I have, what is my tea of the day? Tea of the day is Earl Grey Rooibos, and I also have another beverage. I want to thank Magic Mind for sponsoring this video. I have worked with them before. I love their little wellness shots. I really love any type of a wellness shot, truly. But yeah, you guys have seen me talk about Magic Mind before. They are these cute little wellness shots that come in this adorable compact box, and these really help with your focus, with your energy levels throughout the day. And as someone who is always super busy, always doing something, whether it's working, whether it's reading, whether it's making YouTube videos, anything that will help me focus and stay on track is a necessity. Mental health is very important to me, and a lot of it is about building habits. And the 5 important pillars for mental health, mental wealth are sleep, diet, exercise, stress management, and exogenous compounds. And Magic Mind truly supports these pillars, emphasizing improvement of focus and also improvement of sleep. First of all, these little shots will provide you with 100% of your vitamin C and vitamin D daily intake. And what I like about these is they have a time release caffeine where instead of causing a crash, Magic Mind will support your ATP energy production with 12 active ingredients for sustained energy. And there are also herbs in here that will promote being more stress-free. They'll calm you down while focusing you and providing you with energy. I am so sensitive to caffeine. Like, I've talked about this before, but coffee, anything, like even strong teas, my body cannot handle, but these are great. They work, my body doesn't reject them, doesn't make me feel sick or anything like regular caffeine does. But yeah, if you are a coffee drinker, these are not necessarily a coffee replacement, but an enhancer. So there's L-theanine in here, which will actually extend the effects of your morning coffee throughout the day. Hold on, I need to take a sip. There are also Magic Mind sleep shots. So these ones will help with your energy throughout the day, and then the sleep shots will obviously help with your sleep. Magic Mind is also validated by doctors and developed with a scientific advisory board over 10 plus years and over 100 plus iterations. So there's a lot of thought and process that has been put into these. And also as a bonus, Magic Mind will donate 5 cents per bottle sold to mental health charities. And these are also 100% carbon neutral. And they also ship to over 65 countries. For the first time ever, the 24-hour focus and sleep pack are 45% off. And this is exclusive through my link. So definitely check out Magic Mind. There's no better time to start improving your energy, improving your mental health than the new year. So definitely check out Magic Mind. I'm just gonna finish this shot before we get into tier ranking because I need to focus. Let's get started, shall we? So I've loaded all of the authors into this tier rank. I've decided to use their like book covers instead of just like their names or their faces because I feel like I would feel so uncomfortable like ranking people as humans. So we're tier ranking their writing and like their books and stuff, not the authors as individuals. We're not doing that today, but I've just chosen like the book that author is the most well known for, whether it's their most read or it's like the one that I've heard the most about from them. Where do we start? Should we do this in order or should we just go kind of chaos? Maybe we'll start in order and see where we go from there. So we have Abby Jimenez. Abby Jimenez already has my credit card. Already has it. Like this year, her Say You'll Remember Me book, pre-ordered it immediately when it was announced. So auto buy author for sure. I definitely like her newer releases more than her older books, which haven't always necessarily worked for me. But yeah, any of her newer releases I'm obsessed with. Just for the Summer in particular was so good. And while we're here, we're already skipping the queue, guys. I see Emily Henry, and Emily Henry goes up there as well, obviously. I don't think I need to say anything more about that. Agatha Christie is next. This one's very interesting. I have never read an Agatha Christie before. I know she's just like the queen of mystery, but to be honest, I have not really been into like mysteries or thrillers lately. I have not felt the urge, and any thriller or mystery that I've picked up in the past couple of months have not really hit for me. So I feel like I'm kind of falling out of my like thriller mystery era, but I know Agatha Christie is like a classic, you know, and I feel like I need to try her at least once. So I'm gonna put Agatha Christie in I'm on the fence, convince me. If you guys have any Agatha Christie suggestions for me in particular, like the one book that I need to read from her, what is that? Tell me. Tell me in the comments. Anna Huang. This might be a hot take, but I have no urge. I feel like Anna Huang is so popular on social media, BookTok, BookTube, Bookstagram, whatever platform you're on. I feel like I see these like twisted books everywhere, and she has another series that's also popular that I can't think of right now, but I know she's such a popular author, but for some reason I just like have never ever felt the urge to pick up a book from her. So I have no urge. I don't know. Cassie Clare's bordering on I have no urge and also I'm on the fence. I'm gonna put her on I'm on the fence just because I've heard so many good things about her, but I also feel like I'm past the prime of the time to read Cassie Clare, and I also feel like she has one of those collections of books that is just so intimidating to start. Like I feel like she has 50 books released that are maybe all interconnected or something. I feel like it's just so overwhelming to step into that, and I know she's been writing books for so long. I'm gonna move her into I have no urge. Andy Weir. Andy Weir, I'm going to put in You're in Line. I have not read an Andy Weir before, but I have heard that Hail Mary is so good. And I know he also wrote The Martian, which I have not read, but yeah, everyone, I feel like I've seen a lot of people talk about Hail Mary in particular recently, and I really want to read it. I don't have it physically yet, but I think like in my mind, Andy Weir is in line, and I'm gonna get to him one day. It's just not today. I feel like the same for Blake Crouch here. Look, I'm skipping the Q again. Recursion in particular, I think Dark Matter I've heard good things about, but Recursion is the one that like I've heard people reading it recently and absolutely loving it and being like, this is a book you need to read. So Andy Weir and Blake Crouch both fall into that category of like, I know, like I'm aware and I want to read your books. I'm just like, I haven't done it yet. Should we go back to order? Annabelle Monaghan, okay, or Monaghan. I think I'll be waiting for the Goodreads reviews. I liked this book, Nora Goes Off Script, that I have here, but I read it was some sort of a summer one from her, like a second chance summer fling, summer love romance, and I didn't like that one. So right now she's kind of like 50-50 for me, and I'm not convinced to read another one from her, but I've heard other people reading her other books and loving them, so I don't know. I'm just gonna wait for the Goodreads reviews. If there's another book from her that like gets really, really popular and I see people talking about it a lot, I'll maybe get into it, but I'm not like jumping in excitement about her new releases at this point. That's funny. One of you said Darren Shan, the author of the Cirque du Freak series. This is a series I read in my childhood and I loved in my childhood. I feel like I'm past that stage, so I'm gonna put Cirque du Freak in, or Darren Shan in not going there again, but I thoroughly enjoyed these books in my childhood. Erin Morgenstern, the author of The Night Circus. You're in line. You're definitely in line. This is another that like I've heard so many things about this book. I feel like I need to read it. Okay, Gone Girl. Who's the author of this? Gillian Flynn. I liked this movie. I like the story, but I'm gonna be honest, I have no urge. Maybe it's the whole like mystery thing, like mystery thrillers. I'm just haven't been into, so have no urge. Brandon Sando. Brando Sando. So I read the entire Mistborn trilogy. I read Trust of the Emerald Sea. I'm not fully convinced on Brandon Sanderson, but I know I have to try his Stormlight Archives because like that's the series that is like his top tier series from what I've heard. I'm gonna put Brandon Sanderson in 3 strikes and you're out. If I read the first book in the Stormlight Archives, I think it's called The Way of Kings. If I read that one and it doesn't hit for me, I think I'm done with Brandon Sanderson. Is that a hot take? Maybe, because he's known as the king of fantasy these days, but for some reason I just like, I don't vibe with his writing. But yeah, I want to try The Way of Kings, either that or Yumi and the Night Painter, because a lot of you guys have suggested that one for me, or Warbreaker. I'm gonna try one of those 3 and see if that one's a hit, but I think that's gonna be my 3rd strike from him. So out of those 3, okay, here, let me know, Brandon Sanderson lovers, out of those 3 books, which one should I try from him next? Like, which one do you think I would like from him? Hot take. Oh, we have some classics here. So this one is Fyodor Dostoevsky. I'm butchering that name, but this is the author of Crime and Punishment. I'm gonna be honest, I have no urge. I'm very picky with my classics. I don't know, I have no real urge to read Crime and Punishment or anything else from this author. I see another classic here. This is Jane Austen. I think this is Pride and Prejudice. I'm gonna be honest, not going there again. I read Pride and Prejudice a couple years ago and I just didn't like it. I love the story, like I love the film adaptations. I did not like the writing style. I know there's gonna be a lot of hot takes in this tier rank, but I don't know, I just didn't get the sense of humor. Like I didn't get her sense of humor through the page, but I got the sense of humor through the movie. Frederick Bachman, you are in line. I wanted to read Beartown so badly this month, but you guys, I'm pointing at you, voted against it on my Instagram story, and I'm still mad at you for that. I'm gonna hold a grudge against you for not letting me read Beartown this month. Anne Patchett, I literally have had this book on my physical TBR for several months, so you're definitely in line. Oh, Dan Brown. I read The Da Vinci Code, like, must have been over 10 years ago. I remember liking it. I don't know if I loved it. Maybe I was like a bit young when I read it, but I do remember enjoying it. Honestly though, I have no real urge to pick up another book. Maybe I'm being shallow, but this aesthetic, this vibe does not work with me. I don't feel the urge to pick up another Dan Brown, but I do remember liking The Da Vinci Code when I read it. So I don't know. Ali Hazelwood is like a drug to me. Ali Hazelwood is one of those authors that she's so hit and miss for me. The Love Hypothesis was fine. Ride was also fine. Not in Love, I absolutely despise. And then Check and Mate, I really, really enjoyed. So she's really all over the map for me, but I feel like Ali Hazelwood is just one of those authors that like, I can't stay away from. Her release that's coming out this year, Deep End, is supposed to be this really spicy, like swimming, sports romance, and it's like absolutely everything that I don't look for in a book, but for some reason it's on my anticipated list of 2025 reads, and I'm probably, like most likely 99% sure gonna be picking it up in March when it releases. So I don't know, there's something about Ali Hazelwood that's addictive. She's like a drug to me, but it's not necessarily like a good thing. Donna Tartt. I'm gonna put Donna Tartt in 3 strikes and you're out. Technically, she's on her first strike, so she's got 2 more to go, but I read The Secret History, did not love it, but I want to read Goldfinch because I've heard really, really good things about that book. I think she's a really good author. I think she has it in her, but there was just something about The Secret History that I did not get along with. Alison Saft. This book is on my TBR cart, literally, so you're also in line. Casey McQuiston. Okay, I read Red, White, and Royal Blue, loved it. I really, really enjoyed it. But what was their 2024 release? It was like, I heard it was really spicy. It was like the Europe trip one, like the exes go on a Euro trip. I heard that one was really spicy, really smutty, so I felt no urge to pick up that book. But they have another book called The Pairing, which I think sounds good. It's like magical realism romance. I think for Casey McQuiston, I think they belong in Waiting for Goodreads reviews because it's really dependent on the book and the premise. It's not like an auto buy. It's not like an I see the author and I'll pick it up and read it. It's very just like maybe, depending on if it sounds good to me. But I did love Red, White, and Royal Blue. Hannah Grace, the author of Icebreaker. I have no urge. I have no urge. I have seen snippets of this book on TikTok. I have no urge. I'm gonna leave it at that. Colleen Hoover, I'm not gonna go there again. I went through my Colleen Hoover phase, as many of us did in 2020. I read like probably 5 of her books. They were fine for the time. There were some that I disliked. There were some that were okay. I actually really enjoyed Verity from her. I don't know if it would hold up to this day if I read it again, but I did really love Verity in 2020. I just don't think I'm gonna pick up another Colleen Hoover at this point. There's also so much controversy and scandal going on with this movie. A little triggering for me looking at this title in this book. Holly Black. You know what? I feel like if I made this tier rank last year, I would have put Holly Black in either You Have My Credit Card or I'll read it and I'll like it. But I feel like her duology, the Stolen Heir duology, kind of like put me off Holly Black a little bit. I'm so sad to say this, but I think she's gonna be either 3 strikes and you're out or Waiting for Goodreads reviews. You know what? I don't feel like I want to eliminate her yet, so I'm gonna put her in Waiting for Goodreads reviews. I don't know. There's something, like the more I think about the Stolen Heir duology, the more I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I would read another Elf Haim book, for example. Like maybe I just want to keep it at the Cruel Prince trilogy, leave it at that, put it away. You know, sometimes it's better to end a series and just like package it up nicely than to like keep extending it and going on, but not in a good way. You know what I mean? So that's where Holly Black will live. Elsie Silver. I feel like Elsie Silver is on the strike list. I read Wild Love. It was fine. It was fine. And I have Wild Eyes on my TBR, but I feel like honestly, if that one is like also just fine, I probably won't pick up another book from her. I don't know, there's just so many romance authors out there and romance books that like if I want a romance, I would probably pick something else over an Elsie Silver book. But yeah, if Wild Eyes really, really hits, maybe she'll move up in the tier. Chloe Walsh, The Binding 13 or The Boys of Tommen or whatever it's called, that series. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence. I'm so intrigued at these books because I hear everyone talking about them and loving them, but then I've also had a friend tell me that like these books are not my type of books. I want to try it because I want to see what everyone is talking about, but hearing that it might not be my cup of tea is putting me off a little bit because this person, my friend Natasha, if you're watching this, hi. She, I feel like, really knows my book taste at this point, and for her to say that these books aren't my cup of tea, I feel like I need to believe her. She's never steered me wrong before. I don't know. I'm on the fence. You guys let me know. Do you guys think I would like these books or not? Because I'm so curious. B.K. Borison. I feel like I'll be waiting for Goodreads reviews. Lovelight Farms was fine for me as like a Christmas holiday romance, but I read In the Weeds, the second book in that series from her, and did not like it at all. So I think that just put me off that like the rest of that entire series for me, but I have heard she's releasing a new book called First Time Caller this year. And I've heard some really good things about it. So I think I'm just gonna keep waiting to see if the hype is real for it before I decide on B.K. Borison. Ellen Hilderbrand. Ellen Hilderbrand. I think Ellen Hilderbrand's scent is like a drug to me. I really liked Hotel Nantucket. I really like 5-Star Weekend, but I feel like Ellen Hilderbrand's books are never like, they're never like the books that I will remember forever. Like they're not 5-star books. I think I gave Hotel Nantucket 5 stars on Goodreads, but like thinking back, I'm like, I don't think that was 5 stars. It was probably more like 4. But Ellen Hilderbrand, I feel like I can't stay away from her books because I love the Nantucket vibes. They're perfect for the summer. It's like a drug to me, but only in the summertime. Okay, Frida McFadden, probably the thriller author with the most hype these days. I have no urge. Again, maybe it's because I'm just like not into thrillers these days, but I literally have no urge. She seems to me like the Colleen Hoover of thriller books with the amount of hype that her books get, and from what everyone says about her books being like, they're very sensational, but like people know that they're not like top quality books. You know what I mean? So yeah, I have no urge. But okay, I know that one of her books is being adapted into a movie, so maybe I'll pick that up. Like if I want to watch that movie, I feel like I want to read the book first, but I don't know, I don't really have an urge. Okay, we have some more thrillers here. So Holly Jackson, this year Holly Jackson was on her 3rd strike, and then I feel like she got promoted to drug level. Again, very hit or miss for me, but for some reason like the premises of her books, like the synopsis and the concepts of her books they always sound so cool. And like her release in 2025 sounds so good, where the main character only has 7 days to live and has to figure out who attacked them within 7 days before they die. Like that just sounds so good. But her books are always like, sometimes I feel like for the most part the endings of her books disappoint me. I don't necessarily like love her books, but I can't stay away from them. She keeps reeling me back in. More thriller, Alice Feeney. No urge. Some more no urge authors. Jeanette McCurdy. I don't know. I've heard so many good things about this book, but like I just have no urge for some reason. Like I know if I pick it up and read it, I will. I don't know if I want to say I love it because I know this is a memoir and there's a lot of traumatic things that happen in this memoir, but I don't know. I just have no urge to pick it up. It's a me thing. Elena Armas, also have no urge to pick up. The Spanish Love Deception, I've heard way too many mixed things about it. The things I've heard about it sound like things that I would not like in a book, so I have no urge. Ken Follett over here, I also have no urge. I don't know why, maybe it's the aesthetic, maybe I'm being shallow. No urge to pick up any of those books. I think same with Jay Kristoff right now. I feel like there are so many authors I'm excited to read, and like there's nothing bad about any of these authors. I haven't tried them, so obviously I have nothing to say, but like I just feel like I only have enough brain capacity to like want to read a certain number of authors, and the rest just fall into I have no urge. So John Grisham falls in that category as well. Let's just like populate that category together. John Steinbeck, this is another classics author. Nina Prose, no urge, another thriller thing. Peter Swanson. Oh, Peter Swanson, I've actually read one book from him this year. I read, what was it called? The Red One? I don't remember what it's called. I didn't love the book I read from him this year, and I don't think I will pick another one up. Not in my thriller phase. Okay, Amor Towles. I definitely butchered that name just now. I don't think I'm gonna go there again. I did read A Gentleman in Moscow, and while I enjoyed some parts of it, like the writing was really quirky and some of the plot was interesting, I just don't think it's for me. Like again, I just have other books and other authors that I would prioritize reading over another Amor Towles. So yeah. No, not going there again. Six Crimson Cranes. Oh, Elizabeth Lim. I don't know if Elizabeth Lim is an auto-buy from me. I think if she wrote anything else in the Six Crimson Cranes world, it would be auto-buy, but I think I'll read it and I'll like it. Just because this duology was also kind of like 50-50 for me, because I loved the first book and the second book was like fine. I think Elizabeth Lim belongs in this category. I will read her books and I will like her books. Coco Mellors. I always say Coco Mellors, but is it Coco Mellors? I feel like Coco Mellors just sounds so much like cooler, like a stage name, like Coco Mellors. But it's probably Coco Mellors. This book is on my TBR card, so you're in line. Hafsa Faisal. I think on the fence. I've heard some great things about this author, but it's one of those authors where like I wouldn't even know where to start. So I'm on the fence. If you have any recs, let me know in the comments. Oh my gosh, Carly Fortune is an absolute drug to me because Every Summer After I like. The pink one, Meet Me at the Lake, I didn't like. And her release in 2024, I already forget what it's called. This Summer Will Be Different, I didn't like. But she has a new book coming out this year that's based on the brother from Every Summer After. And I feel like because her books are set in like Toronto and Muskoka, they just give me such like nostalgic summer camp vibe, so I can't stay away from her books. Even though I know like a lot of her books are miscommunication, a lot of her books don't have like the most happening in the plots, I just can't stay away from her books, and I know that whenever she releases a book, I will read it, even if I do not enjoy them. Ooh, Jennifer L. Armentrout. This one is very, very interesting. I am really on the fence about this one. Another one of those authors that just has like so many books out and like interconnected universe, and I've seen things about specific reading order for her books that just seems so intimidating. It's one of those really complicated reading orders where it's like read 3 from this series and then jump to that series and read 2 from there and then back to that one and read that. Very confusing reading order and a very overwhelming universe that I don't even know where I would start with her books. So I'm really, really on the fence about Jennifer Armentrout. Jenny Han, I have this box set on my TBR. I got it for Christmas. So You're in Line, Inheritance Games. I think I'm going to read it and I will like it at this point. I've read the first 2 in this series. I feel like her books are just like really addicting, fast-paced, easy to read, probably good as palette cleansers, to be honest. So yeah, I'll read it and I'll like it. J.K. Rowling. I'm literally wearing Ravenclaw socks right now. I would show you, but I don't think it would be very demure of me to show you my feet. Harry Potter holds such a special place in my heart, but to be honest, I don't think anything else that she's come out with has been very good. I don't even know if I can say that because I know she released a couple of thriller mystery books, I think. I didn't read a single one of them. I don't know, I just feel like Harry Potter, like I will read and reread and love and like live, love, breathe anything in the Harry Potter universe, but I don't think I would like read another J.K. Rowling book release. So putting her in not going there again. Jessica Joyce, the author of You with a View, I think the X-Files as well. I'm on the fence. I've heard a lot of good things about her books, so I'm kind of on the fence, but I'm also, again, like there's just so many romance books and romance authors out there that like I don't know if it's worth it to start a new romance author, but convince me. Jodi Picoult. Ooh, this one's a tricky one. I read My Sister's Keeper so long ago, like it seems like a literal lifetime ago. And then I read Mad Honey, which was co-written by her more recently. I think I'm going to wait for Goodreads reviews. I think if anything from her like stands out as like a particularly like amazing book of the year, I'll pick it up, but I don't think I would just like pick up a Jodi Picoult just because it's Jodi Picoult. So there she goes. John Green, oh my god, The Fault in Our Stars. So nostalgic, oh my god. This book and movie made me sob. Fun fact, I did acting school when I was younger because I was convinced I was going to become a triple threat, like dancing, singing, acting. I can dance. I danced my entire life. Singing, I don't know why I thought I could sing because I have the most horrible voice. And then acting, I feel like I'm like a little bit below average in acting skills, but I was convinced I was going to become a triple threat. I was going to become a Disney star. So I went to acting school and we had an assignment to do a monologue, and my monologue that I picked was like when she reads out her eulogy in front of Augustus. Is his name Augustus in this one? I think so. She reads out her eulogy in front of him and it's like this big emotional scene. I have literally a video recording of me doing that monologue. I'm never gonna release that to the internet, so just a fun fact. I don't think I'm gonna go there again though. I feel like John Green had his time and I feel like that time has passed, but I have so many fond memories of reading John Green books. This, and he wrote Paper Towns, right? I really, really liked that book as well, but yeah, I think just the time's passed. Catherine Center, I am going to read it and like it. I've read 2 books from her before. I haven't read The Bodyguard. I like that she's a romance author with no smut because it's rare to find that these days, so I applaud Catherine Center for that. Kristen Hanna has my credit card. I don't think I've heard of a release for 2025 from Kristen Hanna, but if there is one that's ever announced, I will read it. But yeah, I'm currently working through her backlog of books. There are still quite a few I haven't read yet from her. But yeah, anything she releases, I will buy. Lewis Carroll. Lewis Carroll, I mean, I can't really go there again, can I? But again, nostalgia. I'm gonna be honest, I forget what this author's name is. Leanne something? I can't see what it is. I'll put it on screen while I'm editing. The author of Picking Daisies on Sundays. I think this one's in line. I don't have this book on my shelf yet, but I've heard enough good things about it. It's also so cute. I literally match this book right now. So this one's in line. Louisa May Alcott, in line. I literally have this book on my shelf behind me. Love the story of Little Women, and yeah, I'm excited to read this book, but I haven't haven't gotten there yet. I think Lynn Painter, I'm gonna wait for the reviews. I did read Better Than the Movies and I thought it was okay. I think a lot of people like rave about this book and love it. And for me, it was like fine. It was a YA romance. Like it was cute, but I'm not like yet jumping to pick up another Lynn Painter. I also haven't even read the sequel to this book. I'll see if anything pops up. Maggie Stiefvater, the author of The Raven Boys. I've heard so many things about this author and 2 of her series. I'm not convinced. I'm not 100% convinced. Again, it's one of those things where like, do I want to dive into the past and open up this whole universe of this author? I don't know, but I've heard good things about The Raven Boys. My Corlin. I feel like My Corlin is in between You Have My Credit Card and I'll read it and I'll like it. I did pre-order her sequel to Five Broken Blades. It's literally right behind me. I don't know if you can see it on camera right now, but I think I'll read it and I'll like it. Like obviously I'm gonna pre-order anything that's in this series because I'm reading it, but I think if My Corlin wrote something outside of this series, it's not necessarily like a pre-order, but I would probably pick it up if I saw it in the bookstore. You know what I mean? Margaret Atwood, oh my gosh, The Handmaid's Tale. This is so dark. I watched a bit of this show. I stopped watching it, I think season like 4 for whatever reason. It was just like too dark and depressing. I'm on the fence. I feel like this would be an interesting read, but I'm not like jumping to pick it up. Oh my gosh, Mariana Zapata. I read this one from Luke Off with Love from her and I really loved it. Love one of her books. I think I'll love the rest. Marcus Zuzik, author of The Book Thief. I want to read this book, so you're in line. Mia Sheridan, the author of Archer's Voice. I honestly don't think I'm gonna go there again. I think I had mixed opinions on this book. On one hand, there were some really good emotional moments in it that I loved, but there was so much like weird smut in this book that I didn't get along with, so kind of put me off this author. I see another thriller, so Gillian McAllister, I'm gonna put in I Have No Urge. Sarah Adam, honestly, I Have No Urge. Ruth Ware, I Have No Urge. Sarah J Maas, auto-buy, like, come on. Like, I'm so deep. I'm too deep in her universe. I can't get out of it. Rebecca Ross, I think read it and like it. I do love her books, but there's something about her books that they don't like hype me up. Like again, I wouldn't pre-order her books, but if I see them in the bookstore, I will 100% pick them up. Mona Awad, I think you have to convince me on this one. I've heard things about Bunny, good and bad, and I'm a little bit scared, to be honest. So if you want to see me read this book by Mona Awad, convince me. Naomi Novik, I think also convince me. I've like been off and on about buying her books, but I don't know where to start. That's my problem with Naomi Novik. I don't know where to start. So again, let me know where to start. N.K. Jemisin, I think convinced me. I think I've heard of really good things about the 5th season, but I think I need to hear about it one more time before I'm fully convinced. Penelope Douglas, no. Especially like, what is that book? Credence? No, she writes a lot of like taboo romance, which is not for me, like dark romance and taboo romance. It's just not my style, so I have no urge. Olivia Blake. You guys know Olivia Blake is a drug to me. I did not like the Atlas 6. I have been so 50-50 with her books, but for some reason, I can't stay away. I can't stop reading her books, even though I don't necessarily love them. Pen Cole I'll read and I'll like. I am in the midst of reading this Spark of the Everflame series. I just read the 2nd book. I'm definitely going to continue with the series, but yeah, at this point, not quite auto-buy, but I'll continue with the series. Oh, Rachel Gillig has my credit card. The second her Night in the Moth got announced for release this year, I pre-ordered, so yep. Chloe Gong. Oh, Chloe Gong, convince me, please. I am not fully convinced, but I love supporting Asian authors. I think I've seen Chloe Gong also interact with some other Asian authors that I love, like R.F. Kuang and Liang. I've seen them both interact with Chloe Gong, and they're all like friends, I think. So I think I need to pick up a Chloe Gong at this point, but yeah, let me know what to pick up first. Haruki Murakami. I really want to read a Haruki Murakami book, but again, I don't know which one to read. So let me know, please. I think I am convinced, but I don't know where to start. I have no idea. Riley Sager. Again, this is something I feel like if I made this list last year, Riley Sager would be an auto-buy because I loved The Only One Left, but I think 3 Strikes and You're Out because I'm really not in my thriller days. I'm really not, and I have another Riley Sager literally on my January TBR and I've been staring at it and I don't want to pick it up. So I think Riley Sager is on the strike system. Robin Hobb is next. Ooh. Please convince me. This is another author that just seems so intimidating. Like, there are so many books. They all look so thick. I'm scared. Where do I start? Do I start with this one? Assassin's Apprentice. Samantha Shannon, I will read and I will like. Liane Moriarty. I have no urge. I think I have. What was that book? It's like blue and white, and like there's kind of water or something on the cover. I received the e-arc for that book, and I never got around to reading it. So I don't know. I've heard really good things about this author though, and I feel like her books would be really good, but for some reason I have no urge to pick one up at this moment. Leigh Bardugo is an auto-buy author. Anything Leigh Bardugo comes out with, I will read. I love Leigh Bardugo. Stephanie Garber as well. Anything she comes out with, I'll pre-order. Loved Once Upon a Broken Heart. I think on her Instagram story, she said she's gonna announce something next week. I think by the time this video comes out, that announcement will have been out already, but I'm really excited to see what she's writing next, because I think she said it's not in this Once Upon a Broken Heart universe, even though I wish it was. I want to read more in this universe, but I'm really, curious to see what she comes up with next. So yeah, definitely auto buy. Stephen King is on the strike list. I want to love Stephen King, but I read Fairy Tale from him this past year and I didn't love it, and I know that was probably not the best place to start a Stephen King because it's not one of his like classics, not like even close to his normal style of book. So I think I need to try more from him, either Misery, you guys have recommended that to me a lot, or something like The Shining, or just like, I don't know, something like more classic from him. But he's officially on the strike list. I'm gonna give him 3 chances. Tahereh Mafi. The thing is, I have no urge to read this Shatter Me series for whatever reason. It just seems too long. I don't want to read it, but I do have This Woven Kingdom on my shelf. So Tahereh Mafi in general is in line. TJR is an auto buy. I'm so excited for her book this year. It's about space, like female astronauts going to space. Love it. T. Kingfisher is bordering on You're in Line and I'm on the Fence Convince Me. I'm gonna put her on the fence because I don't know where to start. Please give me some guidance and we'll go from there. Tracy Deonn. So for Legendborn specifically, I'm not going there again. I've decided that I'm dropping the series. I thought the first book was okay, but it didn't pull me in enough to entice me to continue reading. I can see the potential in Tracy Deonn's writing, so I'm gonna put Tracy in waiting for Goodreads reviews. Like after Legendborn is finished, whenever she comes out with Something in Another World, I am open to picking it up. But I'm gonna see what it's about, the concept, the premise, and I'll decide from there. But yeah, I didn't love Legendborn. Karen McManus, because it's a thriller, I have no urge. Divergent, oh my god, Veronica Roth. So I hadn't read a Veronica Roth book since the end of the Divergent series in, I don't know, my teenage years. But I picked up her novella in 2024 and I did not like it. So I think I'm not gonna go there again. I think I'm done with Veronica Roth. The way, just from like the way Divergent ended, like what was that ending? I feel like that series had so much potential and then it just got ruined at the end. I think for that reason, and then plus I didn't like her novella this past year, I think I'm done with Veronica Roth. V.E. Schwab, come on. Auto buy. Oh my gosh, V.E. Schwab is coming to Toronto in June for her Bury Our Bones tour, and I got a ticket and I'm so excited to see her in person. I'm gonna be fangirling so hard that entire day, but you guys know I love V.E. Schwab and I'm so excited to see her in the flesh and see her talk about her books. Oh my gosh. So if you guys live in Toronto, check it out. It's at Indigo the Well in June. I'm so excited. I'm gonna be there. R.F. Kuang auto buy. Definitely auto buy. It's funny to me that Yellowface is her most read book because to me, Yellowface was her weakest. And that's not saying much because I still loved Yellowface, but like Babel was better than Yellowface and the entire Poppy War trilogy was better than Yellowface. Just funny to me that like most people have read only Yellowface from R.F. Kuang and not her other books, but like the Poppy War is a masterpiece and so is Babel. And Yellowface was good, but it wasn't her best. But yeah, R.F. Kuang, again, I would read her grocery list. I'm so excited for Catabasis this year. Sue Tan, You're in Line. I've had this duology on my TBR for so long, but You're in Line. Percy Jackson. Okay, I have never read a Percy Jackson book and I'm tier ranking authors, so this is tier ranking Rick Riordan, not Percy Jackson. I never got into this series, which is like insane to me because I was always a fantasy girl. Like I was a Harry Potter girl growing up, a Lord of the Rings. Like, I got into all of the fantasy fandoms as a kid, except for Percy Jackson. and I don't know why. I have a feeling that I'm sort of like past the prime now. Like maybe if I read this younger, I would love it, but now I'm kind of just like, I feel like I'm past the stage of like getting into this world. I'm too late. I missed it. So I have no urge, but I think I would have loved it. Okay, Liz Tom Ford. I think I have no urge. I have no urge. I don't even know what, is this like sports or is this billionaire? There's a plane, so I don't know. I think it's billionaire because there's a plane. It's giving me like rich vibes, even though we all go on planes. I don't know. There's something about these books that don't appeal to me. Maybe it's the covers. Maybe it's the premises or the tropes. TJ Klune, on the other hand, though, is in line. I really want to read House in the Cerulean Sea so badly. I just need to acquire this book and add it to my TBR cart. Sabaa Tahir, I have an Ember in the Ashes on my cart, so definitely in line. Anne Liang, you guys. I feel like I became an Anne Liang spokesperson in 2024 and made Anne Liang my entire personality for a good reason. I love this book. It has such a special place in my heart, and I think it will forever. I'm currently working my way through Anne Liang's backlog, and I have all of her 2025 releases pre-ordered, so definitely auto buy. Ava Reid, the author of A Study in Drowning, I have on my TBR cart. That's very high on my priority list. You're in line, and the last author, the 100th author in this tier list is Rebecca Yarros. I feel like my instinct was to put her in You Have My Credit Card, but I think she is honestly more like I'll read it and I'll like it, because anything in the Fourth Wing series I will pre-order, but she writes sort of contemporary romance as well, mostly military romance, and while I've read 3 of her like contemporary romances and loved them all, for some reason I'm not like immediately jumping to get her next release. Other than her Empyrean series, I don't like auto buy her books. Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason for anything, but there we have it. That's the tier list. That is 100 authors that we just ranked. That was fun. Shall we do it again soon? That was so much fun. I'm gonna leave you guys here for now. If you did like this video, please leave me a like and a comment. If you don't know what to comment down below, let me know what you would like to see me tier rank next. Thank you to Magic Mind again for sponsoring this video. Again, check out my link in the description box below to make use of that 45% promotion. Just like such a great sale. But yeah, if you like me, subscribe, do that bell thing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!